Mark Seawards.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to serve with you, Ms Luo. Fundamentally, I do think it's right that graduates make a contribution to their education. I did so via a Plan 1 loan and a subsequent postgraduate loan too. Now, that system, for all its faults, did ensure that universities were able to accommodate record numbers of people like me, people who were the first in their family to go to university. But we're now at a point where people who pay an additional 9% of their income above a certain threshold do question why the amount only ever seems to increase. So with the introduction of Plan 2 loans and the trebling of tuition fees to £9,000, a system was essentially created which meant those who had to rely on it were essentially paying a graduate tax in all but name, while those that could afford to pay the tuition fees up front were able to avoid this burden altogether. Now, I argued at the time that they were introduced that a graduate tax would be a much more progressive way of funding university. It resolved that inherent unfairness of a graduate tax for some but not for all. But the transition to such a system now would be costly and difficult, and it would do nothing for those graduates who now have record amounts of debt. That's why I do think the time is right now to have the conversation about debt, interest, repayment thresholds and loan terms. And while these things are definitely easier to tinker with than wholesale replacement, they do all come with costs which have to be part of any conversation. So I'd just like to finish by asking the Minister to seriously consider that now is the time for a genuine, thorough discussion within government about the need to support graduates in this position.
Yeah.